We are live. Okay, so ask me anything. Ask me anything in the comments. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about all areas of life and how to do an accurate assessment. So we are talking about an assessment in your life and how to do one. I have a free download I just put it in my bio. So if you guys are looking for that, it's over there. But basically the point of an assessment, the point of doing an assessment in your life is before you figure out this huge vision for your life and where you want to go and what you want to do, you first have to figure out where you're at. You have to figure out, where am I right now in all of the most important areas of my life? In my relationships, that's friend, family, romantic, relationship with self, in my finance, in my career, in my business, in my happiness, in my bucket list goals. You have to do an assessment in all of these areas before you start setting goals, because if you don't know where you're starting, one, you don't know when you're making progress, but two, you're not being honest. You need to be 100% honest in exactly where you're at right now. So how happy are you in your relationships? How happy are you in your career? How happy are you with your finances? How happy are you in all of the things that make life worth living? Things like bucket list goals that, obviously, if you're from my page, you know that I talk about this extensively. Yeah, you said assessment for what? That's fair enough. You're probably like, assessment, what? But really, we're just talking about doing an assessment of your life and knowing where you're at in all of these key areas, really rating it 1 through 10 to be able to see clear as day, how well is my life going? How well am I doing? How well are my daily habits aligned with the goals that I have and what I want to do and what I want to create and what I want to accomplish in this world? So feel free to ask any questions as I'm going. I'm going to do these lives on Fridays where it's like a little like Q&A. And then hopefully give you like a little goodie, like a little download or a little workbook. I love doing workbooks. I don't know about you guys, but I originally found so much transformation in my own life because I went to like a Tony Robbins live event, and he matches all of his teachings with a workbook. And what I love about the workbook in general is you are going to then apply every single principle to your own life. So as much as you want to say, oh yeah, in theory, like that's so nice, like that's so important to do, whatever, rank the areas of my life. You're like, oh, cool, great. When you actually do it, you can't run from it. You have to be honest with yourself. And I think your satisfaction also is going to depend on how big your goals are and how excited you are to do a lot in each of these areas. So if you're somebody that really values fulfillment and pushing boundaries and social norms, and you're trying to do a lot with your life, then you're going to have really big, your 10 is a huge fucking 10. You are like over the moon. You're fully committed to yourself and your personal growth and your development and all of those things. And it's incredible. It's incredible. So I'll send you guys that. If you sign up for my email in the link in my bio, which I just updated, you're going to get this workbook. And not only are you going to get the workbook, you're going to get a video with me helping you through each step. But I digress. We're just talking about the assessment. I have some stuff pulled up over here too. So the assessment is essentially the very first step in creating this huge dream fulfilling life. If you don't know what you want, you're never going to get there. But before, like I talk about this extensively on my TikTok, before you even begin to talk about the bread and butter, what it is that you love, what it is that you're excited about, your dreams, your goals, your vision for your life, you 100% have to assess where you are. So that assessment can be brutal. It can be like, wow, over the last 3 years, I thought I made progress in this area, but I didn't in this and I neglected it. And this is huge for me. This is like life transformational type huge, right? So yeah, the assessment is the first part of figuring out those goals, but the goals are huge. And I talk about this a lot on my TikTok. When you are creating your goals, and you're creating your dreams and your vision. Like a lot of people do vision boards. Great. I think anything that's going to get it out of your heart and out of your head and onto paper or on your phone or somewhere physical is incredible. You're able to articulate what it is that you genuinely want. But one of the things that I see that people do so wrong with vision boards and like goal setting and things of that nature is using generic goals because they've seen them in other people's goals, meaning, oh, this person wants a Maserati, so I want a Maserati. This person wants to go vacation in Bali. So what is this? Invite to join. What? No, we're not inviting to join lives. Is that like people already on live? Or is that just people on this live that want to join? Oh my God, I'm getting another one. Yeah, I'm going to turn off invites. Sorry, if I didn't know the name, I probably am not inviting them to the live. Anyways, where was I? That just distracted me. Let's see if there's any comments. Swipe left to close. Beautiful. Okay. Amazing. Okay, so we were talking about building authentic goals, and just because somebody wants to vacation and buy, okay, wait, now I can turn it off. Sorry, it kept decline. It kept coming up with like all different people that wanted to join the live, and I kept just hitting decline instead of like turn this notification off. Anyways, I digress. We're back. So when we're talking about goals and setting really big goals, you really have to get so clear on what you authentically want. So just because you see somebody with a certain car or a bag or a certain type of vacation or a certain type of thing, asset, whatever that may be, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily meant for you. And I don't mean that there's things that aren't meant for you, because there is an ample of abundance that you get to tap into. That's like the lucky thing about being on this earth, is you can make your life whatever it is that you want. But with that being said, I have a little bit of a problem with traditional vision boards and like goal setting, for the sole reason that so much of it is just regurgitated dreams. We talk a lot about regurgitated information, but in something like this, it's regurgitated dreams and goals. These are the standards for what a good life is. And I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. I believe that when you are setting goals for yourself about what you authentically want, they have to be heart-centric, and they have to be something that you've really assessed within yourself. Like when you're setting your goals, do you ask yourself, why do I want this? You want a certain body, you want certain levels of energy, you want a certain career, you want a certain business, you want a certain amount of financial income, you want a certain car. Why do you want it? Why is that important to you? Why is that something that you value so much that it is going to be deemed successful in your world? Why is that something you're willing to work towards? Because if you're going to put in the work and you're going to do these things, then it is absolutely essential that you make sure that these goals that you're creating are things that come from the heart, are things that you are genuinely so incredibly passionate about. Because if not, we've all seen it. It's like, this amazing, successful person gets all of the things that they ever wanted in this life, and they're not fulfilled. They're not happy. And you ask yourself, why? If I had those things, I'd be happy. If I had those things, if I achieved those things, if I created those things, I'd be happy. Everybody's happiness stems from different places. And I think that's what we need to be a little bit more aware of in this like life coaching, business coaching space, is that the goals that we set have to be authentic to us. It's the biggest thing that I see people do wrong in goal setting, is going, oh, that just seems like the next financial step or the next level of success, or that's what I saw other people doing, and they said it was successful. They deemed it as this amazing accomplishment, but that accomplishment may not be for you. So when it comes to goal setting, when it comes to casting a vision for your life, this needs to be passionate. You need to know what you want on a very deep, authentic level, because if you don't know, nobody can tell you. Your parents can't tell you, your girlfriend or boyfriend can't tell you, your friends can't tell you, nobody on YouTube or TikTok or even myself can tell you what you want for your life. It's something that you have to create and cultivate yourself. So that's going to take time. It's going to take awareness. It's going to take you taking out the time to jot these things down. And you can journal them. You can just jot them down, whatever. But you need to know what you want in all of the areas of life. And you need to know why you want it. You need to know, why is this so important to me? Why is this something I'm passionate about? Why is this something that matters? Let me think of an example, because I said earlier in the live that there's people like, that they're like, oh, I want this specific car. Oh, I want to go on a vacation to Bali. And it's like, why? Why is that the thing that you're attaching to? Why is that the thing that you're visualizing? You want to really think about these things, and you want them to be really authentic and really aligned with who you are. Like that idea of, would you do this if nobody was watching, if nobody lived on this earth other than you? Is that still your goal? It should be. It absolutely should be. And I did a podcast so long ago. I wish I could find it. I mean, I probably could, but I don't know like what number it is per se. But I did a podcast a while ago, and it was like titled something along the lines of like, if you can't like bump music in a minivan and like have the time of your life, then like you probably don't want that fancy car or whatever. Basically, the whole podcast comes down to, it really boils down to the fact that you have to be happy. You have to be happy within yourself before you're happy with anything externally. And I forget when I did this. Oh my God. Alex, I love you. Oh, hi. The podcast boils down to, you have to be happy with what you have, and you have to be happy on the pursuit of more. But that pursuit of more is indicative of what matters to you. Like, even when I say things, it's like relationship, career, all these different things. If that is your number one, then that's your number one. It's not going to be everybody's. Everybody doesn't have the same area of life that they value the most, that they want to put the most work into. If you're on this live, it's likely that you care about self-mastery and personal development and literally just being the best version of yourself and creating an extraordinarily fulfilling life on your own terms, whatever that looks like for you. But nothing changes if nothing changes. So we often talk about the actions and the commitments and all of the work that you have to put in on a daily basis in order to achieve these goals and like hit these benchmark goals that you're working towards. But none of that happens without A, the assessment, and then B, the authentic goal setting. So A is kind of what we started this live talking about, the assessment. Where are you at in your life? How happy are you in your career? How happy are you in your business? How happy are you in your relationships? How fulfilled are you in your relationship with your significant other, with yourself, with your friends, and your family? How fulfilled are you? Do you feel like you have the feelings that you want? Same thing with your career. How fulfilled are you in your career? How fulfilled are you in your business? I worked with a client recently, and she's absolutely incredible. And she already had an incredible business. And her and I were working together. We were doing one-on-one coaching. We're going back and forth, and we're figuring out and peeling back the layers of her, right? Peeling back the layers, figuring out what is like her bread and butter, what gets her going in her business. What does she care most about? How does she want to serve her client? How does she want to show up? How does she want to manage the business over the next 10 years, etc.? And we got down to the root of it. And it's so funny because I'm not going to go into crazy details, but the offer that she originally was asking for help with ended up being totally different than the offer we created. And I say that because the offer that she created originally was what she thought she had to do. When we assessed who she was, how she operates, and then also on top of that, we assessed what it is that she wanted out of life and what she wanted out of her business and what her ideal business looked like, those two were vastly different. They weren't even close. That's the craziest part, is she was putting in all this work and she's like, Liv, why is this not working? Like, why am I not excited about this? Like, what is missing? I'm not passionate. I'm not fulfilled. I'm not excited about this project. And I was like, babe, we figured it out. And unfortunately, that means you need to scrap the stuff you've been working on. Luckily, it's like, you can just repurpose it, repackage it. She gets it. But we had to scrap the old idea because it wasn't aligned with where she wanted to go. And that brings me to the idea that sometimes there's 10 doors that are open in front of you, right? And each 10 of those doors are a different color and they're sparkly and they're enticing and that one smells good and that one looks fun and that one looks interesting. There are always going to be options in life. I think that especially with social media, especially in this day and age, there's so many opportunities out there, and sometimes that can be overwhelming and tempting. The issue with that is if you don't have a good sense of grounding as to who you are, the way you operate, and what you want in your life, those doors are going to be hard to choose. They're going to be very difficult, especially because you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I want to have fun in my business. I want to do this. I want to do that. You're picking the fun and adventurous door. Maybe the next day you're like, oh, I'm feeling this way. You're picking a different door based off that. There are always going to be a handful of opportunities in life at any given time. If you don't know what you want on an authentic level, it is going to be so incredibly difficult to differentiate which doors are for you and which are not. We'll sit with that. But anyway, so I'm getting a little bit more into authentic goal setting, which I'm super passionate about. You guys know that if you follow me, because I talk about it extensively. But today we're talking about the assessment, and I have the worksheet. I have the little workbook. It's like a 22-page angel number. We love that. It's a 22-page workbook all about assessing your life and figuring out how happy you are in each area of your life and how fulfilled you are. And it helps show you through like graphs and things like that, how happy you are and then where you want to go. And where you want to go and where you are is sometimes a little bit, it's kind of a kick in the dick a little sometimes, but in a good way, in a good, like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to go. I have really big dreams. If you have really big dreams, you're going to attach to the idea that a 10 for you in relationships or a 10 for you in your business is like absolute alignment, fulfillment, so much passion, so much excitement, like a lot of success. It's a big one. So a 10 carries a lot of weight, and it should. Because if you're somebody that's like meant for more and you want more for your life, that 10 in any area of your life, it's going to be a big, long journey to get there. It's not something that you get to when you're 20 years old. It's not even something you get to when you're 30. It's a never-ending process of working towards it. So it's okay if you don't feel like you're there yet. You don't have to be there yet. You don't have to have it all figured out. It doesn't all have to be perfect. The thing that we're looking for is progress, okay? So anyways, I digress. We're talking about the assessment. Now I have that linked in my bio. It's a free download. Please go click on this after the live. Please click on it in general. It is 100% free and you're going to love it. I also pair it with a video where I walk you through the whole workbook. It's not long, it's not hard, but just some extra words of encouragement and some support from me. It will just feel kind of nice. So for example, one of the things that we have in there is we break down each of the areas of life, and I have you rate it 1 to 10. That's so crazy. I just got asked that recently. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means something. One of our friends just asked us that. Anywho, we have all the different areas of life, right? And in this workbook, what we've done is we've created a rating system of 1 to 10. So for example, this one that I'm looking at right now is relationships, and there's little cues for each of them. So a cue for a relationship, that's a 1, very bad, is a 1 in this area of your life could be that you do not have one, you don't have a relationship, you're miserable, or you're trying to leave a relationship. Like I said, very, very bad, not good. But a 10 in this area on the flip side is you're in a relationship that is thriving, loving, passionate, kind, appreciative, fun, and growth-oriented. A 5 in this area, 5 in your relationships, if we're rating it, right? That looks like a blah relationship. You sometimes feel loved, you sometimes feel connected, sometimes feel appreciated, sometimes you don't. It's in the middle. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. In the middle is the worst. There's nothing in your life that you should do half-ass, especially a relationship. We don't need to get into it, but if you followed me for a while, you know some of my relationship videos end up going crazy because of this. I don't believe in settling. I don't believe in settling in your relationship because it is the biggest decision you make in your entire life. You want to be with the best partner possible for you, and that's going to look different for every person, but you know. Let's do another one. Oh, I also have relationship with self in there. That's so cute. So that's another area of life. This one's your career and your business, right? So we're doing the assessment. The workbook is free. The video is free. It's linked in my bio. Let's continue. So when we're rating the career and business areas of our lives, a 1 in this area could look like no direction, no path, and no passion in life, for your career, for your business. 0 career-related fulfillment, and you'll lack excitement, okay? But a 10 in this area, on the flip side, a 10 in this area is a thriving career or business. Your income is abundant, and your fulfillment is abundant. You like what you're doing. You enjoy it. You're energized by the work that you're doing. You like showing up every day for work. Not that you don't need a break ever, but you enjoy it. You like it. You love it. You feel fulfilled. A 5 in this area could look like a work in progress, working towards a fulfilling career and business. This is where you're taking steps in the right direction. You're just not there yet. You haven't seen the momentum, you haven't seen the success, you haven't seen the abundance yet, but you are working towards it. So if you guys have any questions, drop them down below. But the workbook is amazing. I think I have a couple that I'm going to send out. I think that they're so helpful. I learned this from Tony Robbins when I went to the first time that I went to his UPW. I thought it was the most amazing thing to have somebody speak to you and bring you through a process while you're implementing it for yourself. So instead of just like teaching you these principles, also giving you the tools so that you can see where this applies in your own life. Where does this show up in your life? Where does this apply in your life? Where is this prevalent in your life? How does this affect you? So not just teaching you the principles, but also teaching you by that bit of self-awareness and self-education, how it shows up in your life. Because you could sit here and learn a lot of information and never really grasp it, never really get it, never really resonate with it because it was never applied. This is the application process. Doing a workbook, journaling these prompts, that is the application process. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm gonna go. But thank you guys so much for coming on here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. Thank you so much.